T. Our little T. Our little T. Higgins. What a great player this guy is going to be for the Washington Commanders. Or maybe he goes and plays football for the New England Patriots. Who knows where the hell he's going to go. But he's going to get the bag. And I don't know that the Bengals can afford to keep him and Jamar Chase. And clearly they're going to sign Jamar Chase. This is going to be a remarkable offseason talking about our little T. Higgins, who's been kind of a little show favorite the last month. And he's been winning people weeks single-handedly. And he may have just walked you straight into the money bags, baby. T. Higgins, stay gold, my friend. Stay gold, T. Let him cook.
Let him cook.
Laddie McConkey dropping loads. Jamar Chase still good. McBride fantastic today. Herbert did his job. Bo Nix did his job. Joe Burrow did his job. Chase Brown got injured. We got a whole lot to talk about. Kyron scored. Cup's on a milk carton. Where's Cup? Cooper Cup's done. Puka Nacua absolutely explodes. Has a day.
Let him cook.
So many fantasy football explosions. Just absolutely all over the field. There's just a couple downers for some of you out there like Cooper Kupp. But wow, Connor no show. Cooper Kupp no show. Puka exploded. It's going to be a fun little show tonight. But congrats to all of you that have these double-digit receiving monsters. These 2 touchdown wide receivers. We've got even Mims to talk about. Mims had a day. What do you do with Mims in Dynasty and all that? You know, does he have an upside to look at and discuss? Definitely need to talk about it. The Fantasy Football Show, reaction show to the Saturday games of Week 17, Championship Week. That show begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
What a day, what a day. Let's start off with our little T. Higgins. What a freaking monster. Can't wait to see where he lands. Little T. Higgins had 11 receptions for 131 and 3 touchdowns and probably single-handedly won you your championship this week if you started him. What a phenom. Is he a top 10 wide receiver in the National Football League? I don't know. I don't know what he's going to be. It depends a lot where he goes. But he is absolutely going to get the bag and be paid like one. And he's got trouble staying healthy, constantly struggling with hamstring and different injuries. It's going to be such a fun topic in the offseason to decide where our little T. Higgins goes. 11 for 131 and 3 touchdowns. 12 targets, pulled in 11 of the 12. Fantastic. Jamar Chase, not a quiet day. 9 for 102. You wanted him to have at least one of those scores, but that's okay. 9 for 102. Chase Brown got injured, but he was, hobbled, but he was walking around. There wasn't a bunch of trainers sitting by him. He didn't get carted to the locker room. Clearly, he's going to be okay for the playoffs. Playoffs? We talk about playoffs? If such a situation were to arise. Chase Brown is definitely, not severely injured, and so we'll see what happens with him. He's clearly going to be okay in 2025. Absolute monster, 20 carries, 67 yards. Wasn't his best day. 4 for 24 receiving wasn't a bad day at the office, but I mean, come on. It's still an outstanding situation for this kid going forward. Absolutely love Chase Brown. If you could not tell, this is Chase Brown country around these parts. Chase Brown country galore. Let him ride. We'll be opening up the phone lines here in a minute. Don't worry, guys. We got super chats to get to. Phone line to open. Yeah, Cooper Kupp has completely fallen off. Don't even know where you would even contemplate drafting him next year. Like, if we're trying to place his ADP. A lot of you are going to say, I wouldn't touch him. I wouldn't draft him. But where is his ADP gonna go? Tough to say. And that will obviously determine things like, hey, where do we take Christian McCaffrey next year? Well, where is he going? Would I take him? Where's he going? Cooper Kupp? Would I even contemplate him? I mean, he looks like he's okay at times, and then he just doesn't get targets. A lot of it is on Stafford, too. But will Kupp have any juice left in the tank to do anything next year? It's really, really tough to say that he's going to do much at all. I mean, Joe Burrow, 3 touchdowns, 412. He continues to do it every single week. This guy is continuing to deliver 3 and 4 touchdown games week after week. Joe Burrow is him. You know what also is him? Them. This is them. They are them. And where's T? Where's our little T? One reason we haven't added T is he might not be back, and I don't want to redo this animation. So here we go. Because if he leaves, I got to redo the whole animation. If he stays, I'll redo it. The quad pancake stack. The quad pancake stack. You gotta love it. I'll redo it. If T does get re-signed, I'll redo it. I spent a lot of time doing this, and I don't want to have to redo this thing in a couple months. I don't. It takes a lot of time. I will redo it. If T stays, I will redo it. Jamar Chase. Okay, let's flip over to the other side of the. Let's just give him one last standing ovation. J-Mo, Higgins have been 2 of the biggest non-top 5, top 6, top 8 guys that we've been talking about on this channel for the last month in terms of getting them out there in your lineup. They will explode. Higgins will explode. Remember a couple weeks back, put T in. Feels like T's going to blow up. Put T in. Last week, T. Higgins was my second biggest recommend of the week. He only had the 1 single touchdown and very mediocre yardage. Comes out this week, makes up for it in the yardage department. Again, 131, 11 receptions, 3 touchdowns. T. Higgins to the motherfucking moon.
Let him cook.
On the other side of the fence. By the way, some of you keep like swearing and dropping F-bombs. None of your messages can be seen by anybody. Like YouTube will quarantine your message. I can see it, and then you get blocked, and you're gonna get moderated out of here. Like so who is it? Jay Johnson. You keep dropping. I believe. Oh no, you didn't. Well, you did drop a bomb in there, but some of you drop bombs and you don't realize no one can view your message. It gets quarantined immediately. Just so you know. This right here, Denver Broncos side, 3 touchdowns for Bo Nix, 217, 1 INT, 7 rushes for 31 yards, throws 2 TDs to Mims, 1 to Cortland Sutton. What a remarkable young man Bo Nix is. Gee, I wonder who I had Bo Nix over walking into the entire offseason, the entire season. Oh, it was Caleb Williams. And we got laughed at. Well,
let him cook.
Very safe play this week, and Bo Nix may have single-handedly won some of your championship weeks. Congrats to those of you that had any of those ballers from that game. Let's review the game we just saw. Some of this garbage that we've got sitting here. Again, some of you guys don't know how to drop messages. Random, even your stuff's getting blocked just because you're putting it. YouTube's smart, bro. It knows what you're trying to do. So no one's reading your messages. I'm just letting you know. Okay, Kyron Williams, 13 carries, 56 yards and a touchdown. 3 catches, 16 yards. Decent day at the office. Puka Nacua is the man of the hour here in this hour because we just saw this game end. 10 catches, 129. Okay, not as good as T, not as good as Ladd. We'll go over Ladd in a second. Not as good as some other players, but this is a fantastic outing for anybody that had Puka Nacua. We're so spoiled with 1 and 2 touchdown games with this kind of yardage and reception total that we look at Puka Nacua and we go 10, 129, and 0. Ha! What kind of day is that? What, half day? What is this, a half day here, Puka? I mean, we're spoiled. We're spoiled. We got lines like this to look at. T. Higgins, 131-3. But Puka had an absolute marvelous day. And I heard there's something about the mullet that was potentially part of why he did well today. They did some science and dove into the aerodynamics of the mullet that he wears.
Through sheer science and intense aerodynamic study, the mullet of Puka Nacua has been reconstructed inside the Fantasy Football Show studios. This systematic balance of hair volume, mixed with both Quantum Atom fiber technology and L'Oreal shampoo and conditioner, creates a floating mechanism to which the world has never seen. Patent pending to see this prototype in action. See Puka on Sundays as he floats around the field.
Breaking news, Carson Steele released from captivity after Lionheart sightings continued. Even while Steele was detained, they had the wrong man. Puka Nacua appears to be the Lionheart.
I am him.
When times get tough, they call on a beast. That beast rises up and starts to feast. Puka Nacua will sharpen and do his part, because he the beast is the Lionheart. He is the Lionheart. He is the Lionheart. He is the Lionheart.
Okay, so we'll break down some more of this game here. Cooper Kupp, 1 catch. 1. And again, not to defend Kupp much at all here, but this guy got 3 targets, okay? And again, you look back a couple weeks, he's running 60-yard streaks wide open, and Stafford has just been playing like trash. Stafford's got 0 TDs, 189. I'm not defending Cooper Kupp because Cooper Kupp is not producing a product. He's not producing production. Therefore, it doesn't matter why, right? He is missing. Puka Nacua is still doing it. But for whatever reason, Stafford's not looking at Kupp anymore. Kupp is on the verge of drop-off anyway. So even if, let's say, it is Stafford's fault more than it's Kupp's fault, it doesn't matter because the season's at the end in terms of fantasy. So, you don't get to enjoy any more of Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp walking into next year is going to be an injury-plagued player, and it's over. It doesn't matter if maybe he could have had a good ending because Stafford didn't want to play good football and deliver footballs to him, but it doesn't matter. 3 targets. He didn't show up. It was a trash game. Kyler Murray is a garbage quarterback. I'm a Cardinal fan. I'm in Arizona, and I'm telling you, Kyler Murray can't look over the offensive line. He doesn't like MHJ. He doesn't know how to read defenses. He doesn't go through his progressions, and he can't check down the ball like he needs to. This guy's an absolute garbage player, and I hope the Cardinals trade him. He's a talented athlete. He's a remarkable athlete. He's a bad quarterback. He's not a good leader. He's scared to get hit. He's a little wussy when it comes to playing the quarterback position, and Kyler Murray needs to go. We need to have a different quarterback in place for MHJ so MHJ can survive and thrive. Thank God MHJ had a decent day with the 6 for 96, 12 for 123 for McBride. Are you kidding me?
Let him cook.
McBride is so good, and there's a reason for that. He trained and he worked on it in the offseason. He made calculation after calculation with different mathematicians that he studied under to try and get different angles and structure and gigawatt components to collide in his. I'll just show you.
Once upon a time, Trey McBride saw two quarterbacks cross streams.
There are 2 5s?
They're gonna cross streams.
He worked effortlessly trying to accomplish this feat on his own. Then, one day, he crossed his 4th and 5th round average draft position. And then, this occurred. Get McBride.
McBride's so good. 16 targets. The only problem, though, with this equation, because there is a problematic situation here. McBride will be good with whoever he plays with, but if the Cardinals do what I want them to do, the rapport between Kyler and his only player that he looks to consistently, that rapport won't be there, because if Kyler's gone, then you don't know what the new rapport is going to be like. So it's a catch-22. We either have McBride continue to McBride people with Kyler Murray, or we get rid of Kyler in Arizona and we head in a new direction, and then we don't know, probably going to be a good connection, but we don't know what the rapport is going to be. Will it be oversaturation? But the thing I'd say is, even if there's not an oversaturation in the reception and yardage department, the fact that McBride doesn't get in the end zone until today, that maybe dialing down of receptions and yardage will be more than made up for if the guy can pull in 10 touchdowns. Kyler Murray doesn't throw touchdowns. So at the end of the day, I'm more than willing to take the risk that you get a new quarterback in, and what's the rapport going to be like? It's an unknown. Give me that all day long. Give me Cam Ward. Give me Shedeur Sanders. Would the Cardinals have the balls to trade Kyler away for a defensive piece or anything just to get rid of the money? Trade Kyler away just to get rid of the money and trade 2 first-round picks to move up their 2025 first-round pick. So 3 to get 1. 3 first-rounders for 1 first-rounder. Move your first-rounder up to the number 2 overall. Give up and surrender 2 additional first-rounders to make it happen. I would do it. I would sign up for it immediately.
You've just been Smitty approved.
The beautiful thing about that scenario, if the Cardinals had the balls to do it, is that the team that likely has the 2 pick won't be the Raiders at this juncture right now, as it stands right now. The Giants, let's say they keep the 1 pick as the projected 2025 draft value suggests. They have the 1 pick. The number 2 pick's going to be a team like the New England Patriots that already has a quarterback. So they're going to trade out of the 2 pick because the 2 pick is a quarterback pick. You've got a lot of firepower. And the New England Patriots have so many holes. If the New England Patriots sit at 2, let's say, or another team that's got a quarterback, those teams need to build around their quarterback. They're more than glad to give up that number 2 overall pick, trade it down, and still get a first-round pick by the Arizona Cardinals and get 2 additional first-round picks. You trade away Kyler. That's what needs to happen. That's what needs to happen at the end of the day. Will it happen? I don't know. But, again, it can affect McBride a little bit, but it might be a good effect, because McBride might just end up having more touchdowns than you're taking away yardage or receptions, if you're even taking away yardage and receptions. We got J.K. Dobbins with 76 and a touchdown. Was a very safe play. He was a safe play, 1 catch for 7 yards. Didn't blow, your socks off, but it was a good game. Lad McConkey, 8 for 94 and 2 touchdowns.
Let him cook.
Justin Herbert, 3 tutties, 281.
Let him cook.
Quentin Johnson caught more than 1 pass in this game.
Let him cook.
I mean, just catching 1 pass, we give him a standing ovation when he does it. Vidal, that ship never sailed because J.K. played. You have Darius Davis with an amazing touchdown grab, but there's nothing there to look at. So it really was the Lad McConkey and slight J.K. Dobbins, and then obviously Justin Herbert show. So what a nice side of the fence. There really was barely any letdowns in these 3 games, aside from James Conner who I could pull that. We didn't talk about James Conner. We pulled up the game log. Let me put it up real quickly. James Conner, if you look over on this side of the fence, Conner got 4 carries for 4 yards. What in the hell? 2 for 4. Obviously was banged up again. Just garbage outing for James Conner. Crap the bed hardcore. Michael Carter was okay though, 13 for 70. But Conner crapped the bed. You would have thought McBride might crap the bed, but he didn't. Cooper Kupp crapped the bed. Kyron Williams, like I said, a decent day at the office, but Stafford crapped the bed. There were very few crappings of the bed, and J.K. didn't. J.K. had a nice little day. On the New England side of the fence, Drake May, 1 touchdown, 117, very bland day, but 6 for 32 was a nice little bonus, nice little additive. It's almost like he kind of had like 2 TDs and 117 in a way, right? So not the worst day at the office, but it wasn't great. Ramondre Stevenson, 2 for 1. Not a lot of people started Stevenson. We had maybe, I don't even think we had maybe one Stevenson question, maybe. I don't think anybody even considered him in any of the super chats that we got. All last night, all the night before, all the night before that. I can't remember one Stevenson question because it's such a disastrous situation. Pop Douglas, 4 for 46 and 1 TD. Can we get Drake May some weapons? And Travis is a New England Patriot fan. I think, Travis, if you guys end up with the number 2 pick, I think the Cardinals need to send you our 2025 first rounder for your number 2, and we'll give you 2 additional first round picks. I'll give you, don't tell anybody, but I give you a second if you needed it, just to get it done. You guys build around this team. You got to get him some weapons. Look at it. Look at this box score. This is a bunch of janitors, hot dog vendors, cigars and cigarettes. All these people selling things from the stadium are brought in to play football because they can't surround Drake May with any weapons at all. And Javon Baker, probably one of the most talented players on this roster, just sits down there with his one little target, 0 and 0. Nothing. They don't even try to use him. What about Polk? Jalen Polk. Why is he not even used? Jalen Polk, 1 target, 0 receptions, 0 yards. They don't even try. Mayo needs to be fired immediately. I'd fire him now. I would have fired him at halftime. He's not a good coach. If they do somehow keep him moving forward, he's going to screw all this up because I don't think he's capable of making good decisions. That's it, folks. Those are the 3 games recap. Absolute burners. Absolute. Stay gold, T. Higgins. Stay gold, Jamar Chase. Stay gold, Joe Burrow.
Let him cook.
I mean, just T. Higgins, 3 touchdowns.
Let him cook.
People are getting burrowed left and right, and people are going to remember.
The stack above all stacks. It's time to drop the pancake emojis in the live chat.
Look at him. Look at him. The quad stack. I hope they can keep the quad stack together. Honestly, it's worth redoing all of my animations and graphics just to have it complete, the quad. To have the quad together for the long term.
The stack above all stacks. It's time to drop the pancake emojis in the live chat.
Drop them in the live chat. Drop a pancake emoji if you had even 2 of these bad boys. Even 2 of them. Drop a pancake emoji. Drop the number of pancakes emojis that you have players in the stack. If you've got all 4, drop 4. If you've got 3 of them, drop 3. If you've got 2, drop 2. If you only have 1, drop 1. You're deserving to drop as well. Drop your number of quad stack players based on the number of pancakes you drop. Go.
The stack above all stacks. It's time to drop the pancake emojis in the live chat.
Drop the number of emojis you have of these guys. If you own all 4, drop 4. Look at all these. I mean, it's okay if you have just one. It's such a fantastic. Joe Burrow's playing on a level that we've never seen him play at. It's unbelievable. Joe Burrow, I mean, his heart is in it. His mind, he's sharp as can be. He's accurate as hell. Remember all the offseason people were like, I heard from a Twitter doctor. Your Twitter doctor said Joe Burrow will never be the same. Joe Burrow will never be the same, Smitty. A Twitter doctor said it so. A Twitter doctor.
Take a big lap. We don't need your hating ass coming back now. Take a big
People
lap.
are getting burrowed left and right, and people are going to remember it.
Get burrowed.
He'll never be the same. I've heard it from a tweeter doctor. A tweeter doctor said so. You let me decide the injury news. Don't listen to somebody that hasn't done fantasy for more than 2 or 3 years trying to play fantasy doctor. We play fantasy doctor better than anybody. All right, let's hit these super chats real quickly. T. Higgins to the mother flipping moon. Bravo dropping a $20 holler.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Bravo, appreciate you, my bro. Running back, one flex. Spears, Achane, Ford, Jennings, McMillan, Thielen. This is tough, bro. Favored to lose after Burrow and Higgins went off. That sucks, bro. You gotta go with Achane for the upside. And quite honestly, man, I think Spears gives you the most upside. You go Spears and Achane. Does the chat agree? Ford's pretty damn good too, though. He's very, very high upside. I would go Spears and Achane personally. Guys, what do you think on this? Who are you going to? It's definitely Achane. You got to go for the swing. Even with Tua out, you got to go for the swing. I'd probably go Spears and Achane. Everybody's in agreement on this one. It's the smart play. Regardless of how it ends up, it was the smart move at the time. I wouldn't even hesitate doing that. Need upside, start one. Downs, Bigsby, or Mooney. Mooney's safe, but Downs has a little bit more upside with Flacco. I'd probably go Downs if you need a big swing, my boy. Penix, Flacco, or Achane. You're talking about super flex. I like Penix a lot, though, bro. I think Penix Jr. is going to have a good day. So there's something to think about here. In chat, does anybody want to start Penix Jr. in a 4-point passing TD league over Achane with no Tua? You're not crazy. It's definitely something you could waver on. But at the end of the day, I'm going to start Achane. I can't go into a championship week, lose it, and go, yeah, I'd Achane on the bench. Like, figure out something else. Isn't there somebody else you could sit? Put Achane in a running back spot. Put that other running back in that super flex, and then let's have the conversation. Lost, Hurts, Rodgers, Young, or Penix Jr. I'm going Penix Jr., bro. Young has only had 2 games where he's been a top 12-ish quarterback. Only 2 times has he ever been inside the top 10. Last week at number 2, QB number 2, and then earlier in the year is QB 8. Like, and he lost his starting running back, Chuba Hubbard, who's the safety net and heart and soul of the offense. I can't go with Bryce Young. Full PPR, flex Spears, Tracy, or McMillan. I'm going Spears. It's just a nice play. Do I stick with Miami defense or roll with Green Bay? Green Bay. Miami's in shambles right now. I'm not going near that. Close championship. Pat Mahomes, Terry, BT, Saquon, Bucky, Kittle, Tank, me, Allen, JD5, Puka. Okay. Tight end, Chig or Chig or who? Kincaid? Come on, guys, with abbreviations. Phil. Deacon? Is that what we're calling Dalton Kincaid now? Deacon. The Deacon. It makes sense, though. It makes sense because if we go to the Kincaid drop, it does sound like Deacon music. It does. The Deacon. We're going to go probably with, you know what? I probably will go Deacon over Chigakonkwo. Flex, Ford, Debo, or McMillan. Ford safe. McMillan's higher upside, higher reward. And remember, Kate Otten's out, so maybe we roll. Man, maybe we roll with McMillan. Bates defense, Colts or Buffalo. I go Colts. Down 9, half PPR. Final answer on those, Phil, but they're close calls. Make sure you trust your gut. Don't let me completely sway you in the other direction. Start Cup, wow. PPR bench 1, AJB, Jawan, Achane without Tua. Started Cup, wow. PPR bench 1, AJB, Jawan, Achane. I'm benching Jawan. I'm not saying he can't outscore AJB or Achane. I'm not sitting my studs. And Tua being out, they'll hopefully lean on the run more. Hard to say how it's going to end up, but it is what it is, bro. $100 hauler from Ray G. Ray, all $100 haulers get the ability to attach their name to one of the video drops. So please let me know what video drop you want to sponsor with your $100 hauler. And you also get the new $100 Denny drop hauler.
Smitty, everybody's pretty. $100+ I don't even know why they're getting ditty why. $100+
Fantastic. I think Josh Allen goes for 50 in the morning. He wants to re-enter that MVP chat. Absolutely. Nobody can sit Josh Allen. It's impossible. Sitting Josh Allen is a huge mistake. If you have JD5 and Josh Allen, of course, that's a different story. Or Lamar and, another week or something, just in general. If you had Lamar, if he was still playing a game, which he isn't, he already played, you know what I'm saying. Lamar, JD5, Hurts if he was healthy, and Josh Allen, there's conversations you can have. But Josh Allen is still the number 1 overall QB year in and year out. He's 1 or 2. And 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 6. I mean, this is 2019, his first year out of his, into success. He was number 6. And then ever since, he's never been below 2. This year, he'll be number 2 or 1, depending on how he finishes. And you just can't, he's the top guy, Jaime, it's not a coincidence that the last 3 weeks, Kupp has been open many plays, but only got 9 targets. And the Rams offense has looked terrible. This is where I was saying, I don't want to get too much into it because people are so hell-bent against Kupp right now that it's not going to do any good. But as I've mentioned, Kupp has been wide open, streaking down the field, and Stafford has not thrown to him. And Stafford's been horrible. Stafford had 0 touchdowns tonight, 100 and what? Way under 200 yards. And some of that's Kupp's fault, but he only had 3 targets, and Kupp has been open. But like I said, it doesn't matter because Kupp's still failing. So at the end of the day, it hasn't changed, and he's going to be a year older, so I'm probably going to be out on Kupp depending on his ADP. But yeah, I mean, it's a tough conversation to have because everybody's so mad at Kupp right now. They can't really talk about it logically, and it doesn't really matter, though. Like, Kupp has been garbage, and it doesn't matter why. And it's not going to probably change because guess what? He's a year older next year. Higgins just earned his bag. Absolutely. Higgins is going to freaking the bank after that game. He's going to go straight to the bank. They're going to be like, what line of credit do you need? I obviously roll with Gibbs and BT or Achane, PPR. Gibbs and BT over Achane right now. I would start BT and PPR over Achane right now. But I would say, Christian, find a way to get Achane in the lineup. I don't feel comfortable saying to bench Achane at all. BT is a tad bit safer with the situation. I have Burrow and Higgins in reference to my super chat. Bravo, appreciate you, bro. Thank you for dropping that. Burrow and Higgins going to the mother freaking moon, bro. Pick 2, Achane, Devontae Smith, Bigsby, and Coker. I'm going to go Achane and probably, man. Chat, are we going Devontae Smith, Bigsby, or Coker? Please vote. I need at least 10 votes on this one. Devontae Smith, Bigsby, or Coker. I'm gonna put my balls on the line here. Coker and Achane. Final answer, but I mean that's a tough call. Please don't let me sway you. I'm almost forcing that one. I'd say Bigsby's a tad safer. You want safety, go Bigsby. You want high upside with huge risk, go Coker. Bigsby's a lot safer though. In Devontae Smith, I can't trust Devontae Smith right now with no Hurts, bro. There's no way. Starting Penix over Lollipop, Murray. Higgins and Puka pulled me from the trash heap. Ford or McMillan need upside. I'm gonna go McMillan if you need big upside. I like them both, though, bro. Ford is absolutely phenomenal play. Starting Penix over the lollipop. That's great, BBQ. Appreciate you. Looks like it's not going to happen this year. Down 79-54. Solid championship. Like nobody showed up. Collins, Pickens, Chase Brown. You got screwed on that Chase Brown injury, rock out. But keep the faith. Next year, we're going to explode that team in that league for you, and you're going to win a championship. I know it. Right now, rock out. You're going to win a championship in that league next year. Mark my words. And everybody in here that lost or whatever, we start over right now. We don't take a break. Other channels take a break, go missing for 2 or 3 months to regroup and recharge. I'm already recharged. I plug myself in every night in a full battery. Hill or Coker? I'd probably go Hill in this situation, Alex, but it is close. And if you went Coker, I would say good for you. I wouldn't even be mad at you. PPR, Conquer, or Hawkinson. I'm going to go Hawkinson, but anything's possible. Brother Charles, appreciate you dropping need a tight end, Laporta or Chicaconquo. Laporta. Need a running back, 2 Bigsby, Blackshear, or Madison. I go Bigsby. And need a flex, Neighbors or Josh Downs. I like Josh Downs a lot, but I'm not sitting Neighbors. Those are easy calls for me. Anything can happen, though. London, Spears, Ford, or Hall. Pick 2. I'm going to go Hall and probably London for safety, and I'll go Hall and Spears for high upside, high reward. But I think Hall has to be in there. I can't sit Breece Hall. The Bengals missing that field goal almost summed up their whole season. Start 1 wide receiver, 1 flex. I'm going to go Achane in London without much of a hesitation. You started Burrow and Kyron. Nice job. Go get it done. Go win the championship. Do it live. Appreciate your super chat. My opponent sat Ladd. Oh, that's brutal. I have Cook, JJ, Chigaconquo, Downs, McMillan. He has Achane. Mason, Henry gave him 0 in the lineup. I still have a chance. Attaboy. I'm proud of you, bro. You got this. Go finish it. 66%. Thank you for the super chat, too, bro. Rise above. 66% to win. Pick 2. McMillan, Downs, Tracy, Dobbs, Ridley. Give me McMillan and Downs for safety and full PPR. If it's half PPR, I might go Downs and Tracy, but I think I want to go McMillan and Downs here, and I feel pretty damn good about it. That's a really, really nice option you have there. Really good options. They're really good. Downs is going to probably have a day. It's like evidence in the writing feels like it's on the wall with, the change of quarterback, how this happens every time. Lopez, appreciate you. Ford or White? I'm going to go Dallas or Colts. I'm going to go Dallas, and I'm going to go Ford for safety. Unless you have Bucky in the lineup, I go Bucky and Rashad White to kind of hedge my bets. But Ford, I probably go Ford if I have to pick one. Appreciate you all dialing.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Okay. Downs, McMillan. I'm going to go Downs for upside, McMillan for God, I would almost say McMillan's safer. Even though McMillan doesn't feel like a safe play, he really is, because at the end of the day, he's getting touchdowns every single week, Start Spears or Achane, started Kyron. I can't sit Achane, but I do want Spears in your lineup too. Achane's just a different conversation. We need to go to a different player. Unless you're playing in a 2-man league where Achane's your flex, I probably start Achane, but I'm not sitting Achane. But I want Spears in there. Start Spears or Achane. What's the rest of this question? Started Kyron and Jacobs. Okay, you're just telling me who you started. McMillan or Debo? I'm going to go McMillan. I don't trust Debo at all. Brandon, Bucky's in the other flex spot. Yeah, I'm going McMillan. I'm not even hesitating on it. Rock out only got Bijan, BT, McMillan, JD5. Opponent has Bijan or Brian Robinson, AJB, St. Brown. You never know what could happen, rock out, but yeah, either way, bro, we're taking care of you for next year. You stay ready. Stay on the ready, rock out. We're going to be absorbing like crazy starting now. Rookies are coming this week. Who is that? Guys, please mute yourself and please turn the background music down. And when I come to you, unmute. I want the pancake stack video for the Bengals. That's what you want? Okay, Ray G. Let me copy this over, and we'll put you on there, pal. Okay, Ray G gets it. Here we go. Here, let me play it for you.
The stack above all stacks. It's time to drop the pancake emojis in the live chat.
Ray G's going to claim this. He dropped a $100 hauler. Anytime someone drops a $100 hauler, I'm just going to use this message. They get to sponsor a video, and every time that video gets played, their name is in the corner of the video. Ray G, congratulations. This is your video, my boy. My boy. Atta boy, Ray G. And then the final, that was the final super chat. All right, let me go over to Sohav. Sohav, go ahead, bro. Sohav.
Thanks, Smitty, for taking my call.
Of course.
Just have 2 questions for you. For the defense, I have between Miami and Jacksonville, and who would you pick to start for tomorrow?
I'm not going Miami. That's all you got, Miami and Jacksonville? There's no other options at all. Garrett Wilson, Debo, going Garrett Wilson. I don't trust Debo or the Niners right now. Thank you, DeBolt. Jacksonville, that's a tough one. Jacksonville. Yeah, I'd probably go Jacksonville at home over Miami. I don't trust Miami right now. I don't trust them at all. They could run the ball with Ford really well all game. Please mute yourself. I just added somebody. Please mute yourself. I'll come to you in a second. I think anything can happen, man. You know, someone said look for the Cleveland D. Maybe is the Cleveland D dropped for any reason? Remember that nobody else is making ad drops. I can't imagine everybody's consumed all these defenses and you just been sitting there with no drops or no ability to pick anybody up. But I can't trust Miami. Miami's going to be cheeks this week, bro. Their defense is probably going to get tired. I don't know. That's my interpretation. I could be 100% wrong. If your gut says go Miami, and Chad, if you agree with me, disagree with me, I don't like Jacksonville though. It's an okay matchup. It's not bad. I mean, they also are going up against a potential turnover machine at quarterback, you know? So I don't hate either side. I just don't like them.
Okay, thank you for that, Smitty. And the second question I have, for my flex position, do I start Mike Evans or take a chance with Isaac Galindo for Monday night in a full PPR league?
Did Mike Evans get abducted by aliens this week?
No, not yet. Hopefully they don't.
Okay, then I think I'd stick with him. I like Mike Evans, bro. Unless Mike Evans doesn't play, or there's some sort of news that he's going to be on a snap count, and even then I'm probably still playing him because his snap count will be between the 20s, and he'll still potentially. You can't sit Mike Evans. Mike Evans is a 2 to 3 TD potential monster. Mike Evans can do what T. Higgins just did. Mike Evans and T. Higgins are in the same vein. They're a big pop player that can pop off and have not just 100 yards and a touchdown. T. Higgins and Mike Evans have the capability of having 2 and 3 TD games, not just 1 TD. So, bro, Mike Evans, as a lot of people are pointing out in the chat, playing for money too. He's playing for one more contract, and he's trying to get that yardage total up there too. Don't. Yeah, I mean, trust your gut, bro. But my gut doesn't even hesitate. And if I get it wrong, I get it wrong. 9 times out of 10, that's going to be the right call. Could it be the 1 time out of 10? It could. And then you hate me, and you get Smitty. You misguided me. I can't believe I listened to that guy. But look, I can't control the odds of that.
Smitty. You're the best, man. You're the best. So I mean, it's all love, and like I said, you've helped us so much throughout the season, and I appreciate all the insight and the input. So thank you so much.
All right, my boy. I'll see you later. Sohav.
Have a good one. Happy New Year.
H.N. or Brees. I have to ask. Yeah. Guys, in the chat, I need at least 10 votes on this one. H.N. or Brees Hall. It wouldn't even be a question if Tua was playing, but this is something you got to consider. I mean, I probably lean H.N. still. I think they could still effectively run the ball, but at the same time, that might be the safe move. I think if you need high upside, high reward, you go Brees. If you need a big swing, go Brees Hall. If you need safety, give me the guy that's going to get a bunch of work, probably get like 3.5 yards per carry because they're going to run him up the gut like 12 unnecessary times instead of just giving him plays to the outside and letting him do his thing. I'd say if you need a big swing, you go Brees Hall, like a big swing. You need safety. H-Hand, he's getting all the work, so H-Hand's your steady Eddie. I would lean H-Hand, but that's me. But I would find a way to get both of them in there, but it sounds like you're playing in the 4-man league, so that's all good. I get it. Josh from Cali, you're live. Then I'll go to Jordan. Then I'll go to Josh from Athens. Then I'll go to Rock Out. Josh from Cali, go.
What's up, Smitty? Made it to the championship, brother, with that Burrow stack.
Attaboy.
Burrow
Attaboy.
chase.
Attaboy.
Right on, brother. I need a start 2, bench 1. We got Coker, Thielen, and Jonnu Smith.
I start Jonnu and Thielen. Without
Thielen, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
without much of a hesitation. I mean, I know Jonnu feels like, oh, what do I do now? But like, they're still gonna throw to him. You know, I like Coker. I like Coker a lot, but not over Jonnu. Jonnu's been on fire.
Right on.
But it's, you know.
All right, thanks a lot, Smitty.
Yeah, Chad, if you disagree, put a vote in. All right, thank you. Let's go over to Jordan, then over to Josh from Athens, and then over to Rock Out. Jordan, you're live.
Hey, Smitty, thank you for everything. Everybody needs to be thanking Smitty, man. You've been through the wire, making videos while you were sick, and just thank you for everything all year, man. Your insight is second to none. I didn't know why A-Chan's projection lowered a little bit until just now to this show. Would you start, and I want you to answer me with your drops, because I love your drop videos, man. I want you to answer me with a drop. Would you start A-Chan or Bucky Irvin?
Answer
me with a drop. Answer me with the drop, man.
Jeez, man.
Do it live.
A-Chan or Bucky?
That's a tough one.
Get buckied. Buckied.
Bucky.
Bucky.
Oh, Bucky.
It's just safer. It's just I love A-Chan. I want them both in your lineup, bro. But you got to do what you got to do.
I already got Kyron and Gibbs, so I'm locking those two in. It's all good. I appreciate you, Smitty.
All right, man. Later. I don't know what in the hell this means right here. This is it's Smitty. You picked Debo over Spears? Question mark. No, I mean, bro, we've talked about we waver on it from time to time, but what are you talking about? I just said Spears over Debo in 2 questions. I don't know what you're talking about. So, I don't know if that's someone trying to get attention or if he's trying to ask the question. I'm not sure. I'm down. Neighbors or McMillan? Neighbors. I can't sit Neighbors. Not saying don't get both in your lineup. Garendo or McMillan. I'm going to go McMillan. I love both. I think they could both do well, but I'm going to go McMillan. Fade CMC next season, of course, bro. We faded him this year. But everything's going to depend on his ADP. If he goes in round 7, then I'll take him. But if he goes in round 3, hell no. So ADP is going to ultimately depend. But in a vacuum, yes. If I avoided him last year, I want nothing to do with him this year. But I would take him at the right spot, of course. That's the nature of fantasy football. And anybody that says differently doesn't know how to play or provide content for fantasy football. That's a garbage content producer if they literally can't tell you ADP could determine anybody. I could flip on anybody. I might not draft A-Chan, surprisingly, if his ADP climbed to 1 overall. ADP means everything. Played against Burrow and Chase in the finals. I'm sorry to hear, Matt, but keep the faith somehow, some way. I don't know. You never know. And then Matt said, let's see here. There's a double. You posted a double of that. Appreciate the 2 double shot of that question. Let me go over to Jordan. Jordan, did you already ask a question? It was the Bucky one, right? Hello? Jordan!
I'm all good.
Okay.
I took a Bucky
Okay.
bath, man. I'm good.
All right. You're taking a Bucky bath right now. I thought I heard some bubbles. All right, Jordan, we'll see. We'll see you later. Call in if you got another one. Later.
Appreciate it.
Josh from Athens. What's up, my boy?
Hey, what's up, Smitty? So I got 2 questions for you. Who do you like better between the Eagles defense and the Raiders for tomorrow?
Eagles defense or the Raiders tomorrow? This is, again, one of those, there's no real good answer here, bro. I mean, at the end of the day, the Eagles have been, pretty damn good. But the landscape's a little different. The Raiders have a fantastic matchup, and while I would say, hey, you know, the Raiders are a nice sneaky play if you want to try and pull off what the Falcons did last week with your play, then I think the Raiders fit the bill. But if you want to just play smart management, and you're talking about, it's not like you got a good team here that's very opportunistic. They're dogs. They make plays. They make things happen. I think it's a little bit too much, in my opinion, to go away from the Eagles, especially with CeeDee Lamb out. You know what I mean? So with CeeDee out, they're gonna be throwing. You what? What?
Yeah, I think my gut says Eagles with no CeeDee.
Yeah, if they had CeeDee, it'd be different. Like we got this question pre-CeeDee Lamb out for the year news, and it was hard. It was hard to answer the question because you had that like, okay, the Raiders, they're in position to do what the Falcons just did, win somebody a league by playing crazy, you know. But that situation has changed now. You know, now you've got this matchup of the New Orleans Saints not being able to move the football and just being a glorious matchup for the Raiders. You now have that same scenario painting out here in Philadelphia. You know, like now all of a sudden the Eagles are in the exact same spot that the Raiders are in, and they're at home. The Eagles are at home. They face Cooper Rush with no CeeDee Lamb. You know what I mean? So for any,
and then just real quick, I need 2 out of these 4: Achane, AJB, Garendo, and Spears. I'm assuming just start your studs.
Achane, AJB, Garendo, and Spears. How many?
I need 2.
Achane is 1.
And I'm a Rod's like in my flex spot.
You said St. Brown?
St. Brown's in my flex spot, so those are the 2. I need 2 of those 4 that I said.
Okay, so say them again, because you're throwing other names out. It's
AJB,
confusing. Okay.
AJB, sorry, yeah. AJB, Achane, Spears, and Garendo.
AJB and Achane for me. I like Spears a lot, but you can't sit him, I don't think. All right, later, Josh. Appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, guys, remember, for anybody that we remember, we had a conversation about this a couple days ago when Lamb was not out, you know, yet. And so if you had this dilemma, you know, in your mind, okay, we decided on the Raiders over the Eagles, which we didn't decide in general. It was just a high upside risk play, safety, go Eagles, CeeDee Lamb's that good. Things have changed. Make sure you're revisiting this information. And the Eagles will probably have a big day. They'll probably have a big day, and they have just as big of an opportunity to have a big day, especially the Eagles playing at home against Cooper Rush with no CeeDee Lamb. It's going to be a whole different ball game than before. So, Eagles should not be benched. Start your studs. Boone or Blackshear. Sadly, I got no other options. I guess Blackshear. I hear, isn't Blackshear named the starter? And I mean, who knows what that even means, though? You know. So I'm not sure I'm like super excited about that, but the word on the street is that Blackshear is going to be the starter and name. But what in the hell does that even mean? What the hell does it even mean? Is it gonna be a 50-50 divide? And let me just pull up and make sure we got, I mean, he's got an up arrow. There's the news it does seem to be legit, on track. Chuba Hubbard, Blackshear is currently the only other running back on the Panthers' 53-man roster ahead of Sunday's game against the Buccaneers. But Mike Boone and Bailey are on the team's practice squad. Schefter said nothing Saturday. I'm sorry. What was that? Oh no, Saturday Schefter said that Boone, Blackshear and Boone, pending his elevation, are likely to share the backfield. Blackshear is probably the safer play. You just never know. It's a risky situation, a very risky situation. And I know a lot of people think, oh, practice squad guy won't take on more carries than the other guy. It's not always the case. The honest truth is, probably neither is going to do much. But Let's go over to Rock Out. Rock Out. He's in the building. What's up, Rock Out?
What's up?
Hello?
Do you think you would have Puka next year with his injury concerns every year?
I mean, let's make it abundantly clear. Puka Nacua has injury concerns. Like, there's no doubt about it. But it's okay. We forgive him. And at the end of the day, we can't really concern ourselves with that when he brings so much upside to the table. So the question is, what value packages in the risk level that he brings to the table? And for people that need to be reminded that are living on cloud 9 right now, this guy abuses his body like no other receiver I've seen. He plays so much harder than Gronkowski and Kittle combined in terms of what he does to his body. Lands on his arms awkwardly. Lays out for footballs that no other receiver can even lay out for, let alone try to lay out for. Like, he tries to lay out and actually is successful for footballs he has no business, trying to go get. He's going to get hurt. Like, there's no doubt about Puka Nacua in the next 2 seasons will miss 5-6 games minimum, in my opinion. Like, that's my guess, but that's what I'd say. 5-6 games over the next 2 seasons. But I think that still warrants like a 9, 10, 11, 12 pick. The thing that makes me okay with taking him at like 9, like here's what my thinking is with Puka. Puka with the risk level, I want to get Puka at the bookend picks where we were able to get him last year. So 12 and 13. But if we say, okay, great, Puka and JT, that's kind of what you went for in 2024, right? If we move this up a little bit to like 9, I'm still extremely satisfied with how close this 9 pick is to the second round pick. And at the end of the day, I think if I was to take Puka like 9, and I'm not saying I'd do it in every league, because again, I think he misses some games. The player that I'm getting here, I believe based on early looks at the ADP projections and the mock drafts and stuff, I think this player is going to be hard to decipher, the 13, the 14, the 15, and the 16 overall players. Now, if that becomes a little bit harder, if I start looking at ADP data and I start saying, okay, this, 15, 16, 17, these players are a lot more risky than the player at 13 or 14, I could see myself changing my tune a little bit. But I mean, as of this moment, in a worst case scenario, Puka Nacua, and then I don't like who I'm drafting here and I go Josh Allen, I'm fine with that. I could care less what people think of that. Early QB, that's crazy. Good. Tell your friends. Tell everybody. I'm right now I'm fine with the 9 through 12. I think I'm not putting him 5. I'm not putting him 6. Could I put him at 7 or 8? I think we need to have a conversation about that. I am not ruling that out. But right now, you ask me spitball, I'd say 8 or 9 is right where I would think. 8, 9, 10. Well, we'll even put 8. 8, 9, 10. Let's put 8, 9, 10. 8, 9, 10. Somewhere in there. But am I ruling out higher than that? No, absolutely not. But that's where I feel like right now I'm going to throw him. You just got all these RBs. We'll have to break it all down. Jamar Chase, Lamb's not going anywhere. JJ's not going anywhere. I'm not taking Puka over JJ, Lamb, or Jamar Chase. So there's 3 players right there. And then there's Bijan, there's Gibbs, there's a handful of other players. It feels pretty safe to say Puka Nacua 8. All right, my boy.
What do you think about McConkey?
I don't know where his ADP is going to be. He looks great. He looks fantastic.
Yeah.
He looks at do the Chargers. Everybody wants to, Charger fans anyway, want T. Higgins over in LAC. If that happened, that would be something we'd have to consider. I don't know. Right now, I feel pretty good about Ladd McConkey being. I don't know. Do you guys think Ladd's going to go in the 3rd round?
I would hope to get him in the 4th.
Yeah, the later the better, obviously, like anybody. But does anybody think Ladd is no longer 4th round material? Is he now 3rd? I'm afraid he's going to climb too high, and I'm not going to predict bust for him, but I wonder if he'll go too high. Like if he goes in round 2, I can't take Ladd McConkey in round 2 right now.
And depending if they get an outside receiver, because he's mainly a slot guy.
Yeah,
on top of
I love Ladd. I love Ladd. He looks good. I mean, we got. I'll admit I should have been higher on Ladd in LAC, but I was super high on him as a rookie draft prospect. But I can't take him in the second round. I can't. Not right now.
And then Brian Thomas Jr. is up there too.
He's going to go in round 2. He's going to go at the end of round 2. I don't think. Maybe he falls to 3. All right. Rock out. Hang tight. Put yourself on mute if you could. You can hang there if you would like.
Yeah.
Everybody else stay muted real quick. I'll come to you in a second. What 49ers should I get? Or what 49ers should get the start for my flex? Jennings, Debo, or Garendo? Chat, can we vote on this one? As much as I want to say Garendo, I mean, the good thing is you get to decide if Garendo's a full go. You can then, you won't feel pressured to be like, oh, you got other options that are in that game on that team. But can you guys vote on this one for me? Give me at least 10 votes. Jennings, Debo, Garendo. I got 2 Jennings votes, two Debo votes. Another Debo vote, a Jennings vote. Debo's winning by a hair. Jennings, Debo, Jennings. Jennings is catching up. Garendo's barely getting votes. Based on the chat vote and mixed with my opinion, I'm going to mix it in. I'm going to say Jennings does feel like maybe the safer call. Maybe less upside. Keep in mind that the entire offensive line is in shambles. Keep in mind that they're basically down to like third string and in one case fourth string offensive linemen. I don't even know if they have second string linemen in there. This is an absolute debacle. This is one of the worst offensive line. Like Shanahan was interviewed and he said that these last 2 games will be important for Brock Purdy, and I about spit up what I was drinking. And I'm like, you're going to really not only throw him out there this week, but next week too? Shanahan's going to injure Brock Purdy. This is unreal. It's absolutely unreal. Give me Jennings for safety. If you need a huge swing, my boy, I guess go Garendo, but I would go Jennings for safety. I already feel like Jennings is the number 1 wide receiver there right now. Ayuk doesn't stand a chance at the beginning of the year to be the number 1 wide receiver. Championship week, start Kupp, McMillan, or Reed. Week 18. Let's let this play out, JP. But right now, I'm going to say probably I lean Reed. But let's see what Reed does this week. McMillan's probably your safer bet, but let's see how they play before we get into that. But right now, my Week 18 lean would be Reed. We got to see like what teams are, how these teams are going to be fighting too. What angle do they have? It's so tough, bro. They're banged up a little bit. I like Reed a lot. I think Reed is going to have a really nice season. Okay, let's go over to Farb. Farb, you're live, then Marco.
Yeah, man, you start. I got to sit one. Cook, Spears, or A-Chain. I already started Chase Brown tonight.
I mean, Spears over... You got to play Cook, especially the weather, the way he's playing. I can't sit A-Chan. I just can't. I'm not saying to not start Spears or find a way, but I can't sit A-Chan for Spears. I can't do it. I'm not saying it's dumb to go Spears. I'm just saying I can't do it. He didn't get injured. He didn't. He's not the one that's. He's not the one that got injured. You know what I mean? I know he's affected by the degrees of separation here, but I can't sit A-Chan. I like Spears a lot, though.
All right, so it's got to be Achane and Cook then.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, that's what I would do. Yep.
All right, no doubt. Appreciate it.
All right, Farb. Appreciate you. Abanto says I didn't answer this one. One wide receiver or tight end. Reek, Garrett Wilson, Dowdle, Reed, McMillan. Give me Garrett Wilson. Dowdle's matchup is brutal. Give me Reed and Garrett Wilson. I like McMillan a lot, but I do like Garrett Wilson and Reed more. If you're a little hesitant on Reed, then go McMillan. But Garrett Wilson and Reed or Garrett Wilson, McMillan, it's got to be between those combos. Appreciate you, my boy. Carlos dropping a blink super chat. Carlos, appreciate your support there, my guy. All right, go ahead, Marco.
Hey, Smitty. I had an agent in my RB1, and when I found out Tua was playing, I moved him to flex. So I started Chase Brown and Kyron Williams, and I have him agent in my flex right now. But I'm debating on whether to leave him in there or switch him out with either AJ Brown or J-Mo.
I love J-Mo this week, but I'm not sitting H-N.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is going to all be easy once it's over. Very easy to, in retrospect, say, oh, I knew I should have said H-N for J-Mo. Or I knew I should have said H-N for, AJB. It's always that way. Like people come in here and hate, like, Smitty, nice call on what, like we smash. I could smash 100 calls and one miss, and there's haters waiting for me. Like, oh my God, you actually thought Cup was going to bounce back this week. What about all the other calls? What about T. Higgins' call? Like, where are you on that, hater? Like, there's you're going to always have a miss. And H-N over lesser players that have better situations will be something we regret, which we shouldn't, if it doesn't go the right way. But, like, the question I got to ask you is, are you more okay losing with H-N on your bench or losing with those other guys on your bench? It's hard to, you got to answer that question for yourself. And honestly, if your answer is I'd be more sick to my stomach if AJB was on my bench, then that's your answer. Whichever one makes you more sick to think about being on your bench, and you're going to go, I knew it. Why did I do it? That player needs to be in your lineup. Because if you say to me, hey, Smitty, Spears went off, like, why didn't I have Spears in there over H-N? You're not going to sit there and lose sleep over it because it wasn't that obvious of a call. It's a very tough decision. J-Mo. I love J-Mo. I'm talking J-Mo up like more than I can possibly talk up the last month. Same thing with Higgins. Higgins and J-Mo are such good plays. Higgins is still, if you play Week 18, he's still a good play. Higgins is playing for money. This is the easiest call you could ever see coming was T. Higgins blowing up. Because T. Higgins was playing for dollar bills. And I love J-Mo. I love T. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be sick to my stomach if I look at H-N and he has a game like he had last week, 200 yards. And, like, you know what I mean? You're just going to be sick to your stomach.
I know. I had a lot of McConkey on my bench today. So, but I had T. I put T in. So I don't feel that bad, but I'm projected to win. I'm trying to be safe because I'm going against Gibbs.
Well, I think H-N is safer. I think J-Mo is higher risk, higher upside in a way. AJB is probably. I can't imagine AJB having a 2-touch. He could. Anything's possible, but I can't imagine.
Yeah.
The odds are great that AJB, maybe 1 out of 10, which can happen. It could be the 1% or the 10% chance. But 1 out of 10% chance, 1 out of 10, that AJB has as big of a game as even Puka had. Like 10 receptions, 129. But, like, worst case scenario, let's pencil it out. What's H-N going to get? 40 yards rushing and maybe 3 for 30? That's 6 and 4. It's 10, 10, 11, 12 points. is probably what his floor is in a bad game where you're kind of disappointed. And then you pencil out is it full PPR?
Yeah.
Okay, so you pencil out 10 for 100, and it's like, yeah, you know, he got 10 PPR point or 10 points for the receptions. He got 10 points for the yardage. He outscored him by 6, 7, 8 points. You know, I'd rather take the upside that Achane brings and risk the fact that I might be off by 6 to 8 points.
Yeah, that's how I feel for sure. I just want some reassurance.
All right. Later, bro.
All right. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Rock out. Anything else? Rock out. He's in the building.
Kind of bittersweet that I'm not in contention since I'm rooting for my Commanders tomorrow. I'm gonna be at the game.
Oh, you're gonna be at the game? That's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a fun game. It's gonna be I believe it's gonna be a score fest. I believe. I'm hoping what we saw of that Bengal game, just the back and forth, is what we're gonna see in that Commander game. I just think there's an opportunity for. I mean, did anybody feel like it was just almost unfair for those of us that own Joe Burrow, or if you're going against Joe Burrow in a league too? It was almost unfair how quickly Joe Burrow was getting the football back in that game. It was just like a minute, like less than a minute, they're punting to Joe Burrow. Interception, no! And then a minute later, Joe Burrow gets it back. It was just like, that's what you want. You hate these. I hate it when my player is literally like, the ball's kicked off, you know, the game is beginning, and it's like 3 minutes left in the first quarter before your quarterback even goes on the field. So I mean, it was a great fantasy landscape. It was fantastic. Anything else?
That's about it for right now, but appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, my boy. We'll see you later. Rock out to the moon. Don't get down, bro. We're gonna get right to it. Rookies, all that stuff. Travis, what's up, Travis?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Imagine what the Bengals could be if they ever tried to build a defense.
I know. Well,
but they have so much talent. I mean, just Joe Burrow alone.
Yeah, the right coach coaching it up without using, you know, what you need to keep the offense the way it is. Like,
yep.
Yeah, you just got to find like the right coach. But I mean, it kind of like is look, they're doing pretty decent considering. But yeah, I mean,
they've gotten it together. You know?
Yeah. The other thing too that people don't factor in is that the defense isn't quite as bad as it looks, because the offense is, when you score as much as the Bengals score, the defense gets tired out. They're constantly going back on the field.
Yeah.
And so people need to kind of understand that. Like, you change the dynamic of the defense, then all of a sudden the offense, it could mess with that too. Like, there's a nice little flow in a way, but
yeah, I just meant they need to bring in, you know, a couple of those,
right,
you know, true stud anchor type guys.
Yeah.
That just, you know, that builds the consistency when you have those type of guys, and they don't really. I mean, they have some good players, but
they're definitely not great
they
defense.
But stoop a little bit on it.
Keep in mind though that the Bengals, the year they went to the Super Bowl, the year that I said they were going to turn it around immediately, and I had Hugh Jackson on, and Hugh Jackson I'm like, hey man, they need to draft Jamar Chase over Penei Sewell. And he's like, no, you're wrong. And I'm like, I think, you know, that will help protect Joe Burrow as much or more than drafting Penei Sewell. And he about threw up all over the place. And I still don't care. People don't understand what I'm saying. Like, some people don't understand what I'm saying, and they just don't know football. And you know what? I know Hugh Jackson knows football, but he was wrong and I was right. So you guys can take that for what it is. He came on my show. I was very polite to him. And I pretty much said exactly what was going to happen. before it happened. I said they were going to draft Jamar Chase instead of Penei Sewell. I said that drafting Jamar Chase would stretch the defense out. You'd have less people rushing. You'd have more people focused on trying to double team and lock down Jamar Chase. So you're going to see different defensive schemes. So it's protecting Joe Burrow as much as drafting Penei Sewell is protecting Joe Burrow. And he's like, no. And just like I said, the Bengals could win the division. And the Bengals could be that team this year that turns it around immediately. This team went to the Super Bowl. They went to the Super Bowl. And he's out here arguing with me on my show. That clip is so funny when I watch it because he just acts like I'm an idiot. But anyway, the point being, that year, the Bengals were kind of trash defensively, and then they kind of turned it around right in at playoff time, and they were actually a really good defense that year at times. Not the whole way through, but they could make turnovers and cause turnovers and make plays. That's why they got deep. So we'll see if the Bengals D steps up a little bit too, with closer games, and we'll see what happens.
They've been playing better, yeah, for sure.
They did that before.
Yeah, the other thing, I was calling in. I missed the earlier show, so you may have gone over it. But did anyone talk about Cam Ward? I just wanted your opinion on that and checking out of the bowl right after he got the record. Is that change how you look at him at all, or is that just kind of how they do things nowadays? Or I guess he broke the touchdown record and just sat down for the second half. I know we've had guys not play bowl games, so I don't know if that even matters.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, look, this guy's got millions and millions and millions, and not only millions of dollars on the line, but like career on the line. And like, I don't look down on it. I don't look down on players for making business decisions at the college level. I just don't. MHJ not doing the combine, I don't look down on that. I don't think it had anything to do with his disappointing year. It's all Kyler. It's all offensive play calling. Yeah, no problem with that at all. Cam Ward's looking out for his future. I understand. If I was Cam, I probably wouldn't leave the house. I'd probably wear
I agree with it, too. I kind of question why you even play at all.
Yeah.
But I completely defend the business part of it. Because you got to take care of yourself because you're not going to take care of you. So.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's a good Malcolm says a broken clock is right twice a day, Smitty. Just kidding. Are you kidding though, Malcolm? Are you kidding, Malcolm? You want to go on a timeout, Malcolm? Because I'll put you in a timeout as fast as you would like. I think Cam Ward is going to be. It's going to be a hot topic. Cam Ward versus Shedeur.
Yeah.
I really think this is going to be a fun discussion and debate. Ewers is kind of an okay quarterback too, but he's not going to have as much draft value. Cam, somebody could climb though. Usually there's an 11th hour climber that could get in the mix. I mean, look how J.J. McCarthy went from, how late is he going to go in the first round to all of a sudden he could go number 2 overall. Like everybody loves the hot topic, players, and so you never know if like someone like Ewers could climb up. But Cam Ward's a special player. Shedeur is a special player. The one thing that concerns me about Shedeur Sanders though, I still love him a lot, but let's see here if I can pull this up. This is a crazy stat. This is just wild. It's insane, bro. It is insane. Look at Shedeur Sanders. Let me put this on screen. This is Shedeur Sanders' rushing stats. And specifically the 2024 season and 2023. Look at the yards. -16, -77, -17 up in 2021. This guy is minus yardage on the year rushing because he takes these massive big sacks, like It's it's crazy. Like, that's insane. Back-to-back negative yard stats for a guy that's got the wheels and, mobility in it. Like, that is crazy. So that makes you wonder about hanging onto the football at the next level. It's got to cross your mind. And as much as I will be hyping one or both of these guys, it's so weird. It's the weirdest stat. And on top of that, if you're thinking, oh, well, maybe there's a run, look at the carries. 2023. Travis, have you looked at? Don't look away from the screen, Travis. Don't look at it. How many in 2023? In 2023 with his minus 77 yardage total. What do you think his carry total was?
Minus 77 yards.
Yeah, he had minus 70. So what do you think he carried? How many times did he carry the football in 2023?
If you're gonna lose that many yards, you would think you'd have to be carrying a decent amount. Either that or you take like huge. I don't even know how to guess it. I don't know, 20 times.
111 carries. 111 carries, minus 77 yards. That's wild.
That means he's taking off with the ball at times. Yeah, it's not just kneel downs and broken plays.
It's very, very wild. It's very, very wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's Shedeur Sanders' rushing stats. And you specifically want to look at the Colorado ones, right? So last year, minus 16 yards, 91 attempts. Minus 77 yards, 111 attempts. So he does hold on to the ball too much. And again, so what I was saying was, as much as I will be touting these guys probably a decent amount, there's a little bit more Zach Wilson concern. Like, I'm not saying these guys will turn into Zach Wilson, but remember Zach Wilson was a very good prospect. And if you want to remember Zach Wilson the way that you remember him now, you're not being honest with yourself or being fair with the question or the game that we're playing. Zach Wilson was a very, very nice prospect. He was. And the same thing with, a lot of players, I didn't like Mac Jones personally. I know you like him a little bit more than the average person. Travis, you just think he got a bad shake more than anything. But it was Trevor Lawrence hasn't lived up to the hype, and Trevor Lawrence was a fantastic prospect, and he still has a lot of upside. I think Baker Mayfield and Darnold, when I look at Trevor Lawrence, I think there's opportunity for him to kind of do what Baker and Darnold did. If he gets in the right spot later or gets the right support now. But like Zach Wilson, you can say what you want. Like this guy, he's going to pretend like he had zero, who the F actually believes in Zach Wilson. It's so easy to have that conversation now. But bottom line is, regardless, even if you didn't like Zach a lot or you kind of had your concerns, Cam Ward or Shedeur, maybe both. Okay, we're going to hang up on yes sir, because he's got whatever going on in the background. They have a little bit of that. They're not a lock, They're not a lock. JD5 was a lock. Caleb was not a lock. Cam Ward will not be a lock, but I like him more than I liked Caleb by a country mile. So I'm a little fearful of what's in store for these guys if they don't get in the right spot. The good news is the Raiders will be one of those spots. You got Brock Bowers sitting there. That's great.
Yep.
The New York Giants have neighbors. Should be pretty good. They just, I hate Joe Shine. Maybe they'll surprise us and fire him. Maybe Joe Shine will just, have very little to do with, everything once the pieces get put together, and maybe he has more people they're going to make decisions and help him. Maybe he's going to be a scaredy cat and he doesn't make any of the calls and the right players get drafted.
The Giants need to bring someone in who runs the whole program. I think whether it's like a Ben Johnson or something, and just hand him the keys and say you got 5 years, something like that, rather than try to keep it together and get a coach here, and all that.
Anyway, yeah, it'll be fun. So to answer your question that you called in about Cam Ward, I still like him a lot. He's a kind of a project more than JD5 was. JD5, Penix Jr., Bo Nix, probably three of the most NFL-ready QBs we could have been handed, and Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward are not that. They're more, if the right situation arises, they could be very, very good, but they definitely need to be in the right spots.
Yeah. Well, and that's the case, like you said. This past draft class, I think you look at it and say it's rare, because a lot of guys need the right spot. And like in hindsight, if you look back at that Trevor Lawrence draft, Mac Jones and Trey Lance and Justin Fields, if you mixed and matched, they almost all went to a situation that wasn't great for them. And if they went to other teams, things could have worked out differently. Like if Fields went to a different team, I obviously, I'm not saying Mac Jones would be great, but like you said, I thought he got kind of in bad shape. If he went to a team with something built around him already, it might have been different. I mean, Zach Wilson needed to go somewhere and learn. New York was going to be brutal for him if he even had a chance. So it's like these guys, they have to fall in the right spot.
Yeah. By the way, Schefter's been tweeting a lot the last hour. He said Neighbors questionable, expected to play. Devontae Adams, who's questionable, expected to play. Just to let everybody know that that's sitting out there. Did we get a Chase Brown update at all? My assessment of it personally is that he's going to be fine because he's walking around. Nobody's attending to him or anything aside from the initial, conversation they almost had with him where they were talking to him and he was like telling them what was going on. It wasn't like they were sitting there examining him forever and he didn't go off the field. He didn't get taken off on a cart. He's walking around on it. You don't walk around on something that's like, oh my God, you got a season-ending injury, and he's just sitting there by himself without trainers on the sideline. So fully know that the ankle's not broken or anything like that. He could have some tremendous swelling when the adrenaline's, not kicking in. Doesn't feel like it's a high ankle at all. It feels like a mid to low ankle sprain. But my guess is going to be okay. But if anybody heard anything, let me know because I've been live trying to scour what I can, but
yeah, I haven't seen much of an update.
Zach Taylor said Chase Brown suffered an ankle sprain. That was from Schefter 4 hours ago. Chase Brown injury. I just know it's an ankle sprain. We'll see from there is what Taylor said. That's the only news we have. So no update. All right, anything else, boys? I got Rock Out on the line too. I'm going to go over to Yes Sir in a second, but Rock Out and Travis, you guys got anything else?
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you if you needed like a big swing, if you had Madison or Abdullah or Algier or Gainwell, who has the highest upside there? Would you say?
Madison, probably Madison, I guess, but Algier's interesting. I feel like
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Do you have
Madison probably because he's the starter, but
yeah, Algier's interesting. Only because I know he's going to frustrate us a little bit. Every game he kind of does, but I think a lot of that's PTSD built in, and Bijan's force. He's a monster. What is Bijan ranked right now? He's running back 4, right? That's amazing. Bijan 4, Achane 5. And I'm looking at one league. Every league is going to be slightly different. But for those considering sitting Achane this week, he's running back 5. He's running back 5.
Yeah, so in the Marsman League, it goes Saquon, Derrick Henry, Gibbs, Bijan, and Achane. And then Jacobs. Kyron's still RB8 without complaining.
Yeah, James Cook 10. Don't sit Cook this week. Don't sit Achane. Underdog plays I'll have in the morning. All right, I'm gonna get out of here early so I can rest up a little bit. Anything else, Travis?
Yeah,
me.
I'm coming to you, yes sir. Hang tight.
Travis
and Rock Out. Anything else?
Yeah. What's your thoughts on Collins in 2025 with Stroud's recent struggles, and would you also try to avoid Pickens with him being such a hothead and he takes himself out of the game?
Pickens has been exactly what we said he'd be. Just an absolute mess. Just a blender of emotions, and I'd probably say I'm not drafting a lot of Pickens next year unless his ADP is glorious, bro.
Yeah.
As far as Nico, look, Nico will be fine. Stroud is able to get the football to him. He's been doing that. I'm fine with Nico. Would I draft Nico in round 1? Preferably not. I'd probably take him at the top of 2. My second draft, anywhere is my second drafted player. That goes for like 13 overall. Now at the bookend picks, you're talking about like the logic of that scenario. You gotta consider that at 12 and 13, those are back to back. So technically speaking, Nico could be your 12 pick, and it's not a big deal. But
yeah,
the higher up you get, the more separation, from those picks. So 12 and 13, and then 14 and 11. Nico here has a lot more risk because now you got 2 players in between, and it's just like, I don't like him. I'm okay with this range here, but that's about it right now. It doesn't mean I don't love him. He's top 5 potential, but I think that package isn't a lot of safety. I still have Puka above him. I obviously have Gibbs and Bijan and JJ and Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb, and so Nico naturally gets forced down. 11, I could see. I'm going to reserve the right to change my mind because really we got to look at ADP data, go through bunches of drafts, but I could be okay with 9.
Okay.
But I think the 12, 13 is where I want him to be. If his ADP climbs, whether I jump up and take him here or jump up and take him here is to be determined, not ruling it out whatsoever. But my hope is that Nico's in the 12 to 13 territory. That's my hope.
Yeah.
All right, rock out. Call in tomorrow, bro. Call in. I'll be here in the morning. And at least an hour before kickoff. All right, later. All right, yes, sir. You got 30 seconds. Go.
Yes, sir. All right, Brees Hall or Ty
Hall. For the same reasons, I'm not sitting Achane in championship week, bro. I'm not sitting Hall.
No, but you can't. I'm not saying you're trying to say that you gotta go with what your heart is the whole time, but obviously Achane, Hall, all those guys are gonna be like starters. But this week, it seems like Spears is gonna be better than Achane. No, I'm sorry. It seems like Spears is gonna be better than Hall.
Finish him.
Come on, bro. I know what you're saying. Like, it's the nature of the question. Like, what else do you think I'm deciding my answer on? Like, what you're saying is like, Smitty, there's the air is out there, and you breathe the air in, and it exists. It's there, and the sun's there, and the sky's there. You sound like Harbaugh. I know all these things.
Well, fucking A.
All right.
Well, you
Finish
always
him.
say
Call terminated.
Like, there's some people that just don't get it. No offense, yes, sir, but you call in, the sound is blaring in the background, and I have to hang up on you. And you call in again, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to yes, sir in a second. Rock out, anything else? Yeah, I need me! You're like screaming in the background. Like, you're just not getting it. And then you come in and you drop a whole bunch of F-bombs on my monetization of the video, and you're out of here, yes, sir. Plain and simple, like this constant mess. Travis said, disaster call. Yes, sir. That was your worst work. We'll have to see if we decide to give you another chance on that one to make up for it. But what a disaster of a call. Straight disaster. And then the explanation of that, like, what do you think I'm deciding that on? When you say Hall and Spears, and I go, yeah, okay, Hall and Spears. Smitty. But Hall is Hall. Spears is Spears. And Spears is playing in a game. Hall's going to be playing in a game. I understand all that when you ask me the question. You asked me the question, I'm not sitting Hall. I like Spears. Could Spears outscore him? Yes, he could. This is where you're gonna come back later and you think you're gonna get me too if Spears does outscore Hall. I'm not telling you to sit Spears. I'm not telling you to sit Spears at all. I'm just telling you I can't sit Hall. Hall is your running back 1 that you drafted in the first round. This is your RB1. I'm not saying he's playing that way for you right now, but this is your RB1. You're telling me you're bypassing your RB2 and your flex play consideration to have this conversation. I want to have this conversation about your flex play. Can you put Spears into your flex? Why are we talking about your running back 1 that I know hasn't been playing that well? But so the answer is start both of them. Okay? So when you think you're going to get me, you're not. I'm going to say I told you. Spears is a great play. Great play. But this needs to be your flex conversation. Not your... And if you didn't go off and have this weird call, we'd have a conversation right now. Okay, who's your flex? Let's try and dig into this. But no! Marquez, appreciate you. Jonnu Smith or Ferguson if Tua is out. Tua is almost certainly out. I'm going Jonnu, though. I know yes, sir wouldn't understand this. He'd be like, but, Smitty! Let's freaking go McBride. Opponent started Mixon, Zay Flowers, Connor. Josh, congrats on the championship, bro. Keep doing it. Do it live. Adrian with the super chat. Thielen, Jennings, McMillan, Spears. 1 wide receiver, 1 running back, 1 flex. Let's go McMillan, Spears, and Thielen for safety. Jennings for high risk, high reward. Pick your poison, but that's the dilemma. In chat, let's do one better for you. Vote Spears or Jennings. Lock in McMillan, lock in Spears. Chat, vote Thielen or Jennings. Jennings or Thielen. Let's give Adrian at least 10 votes on that. Appreciate you, Adrian, dropping the super chat, my boy. E11 says he thought he was schooling Smitty. I don't even know if he thought he was doing that, but it is weird when people try and tell me something is juvenile as Smitty, but Hurts is out. No, you don't say, or, hey, Smitty, but don't you think that Hall hasn't been playing well, and maybe we're sitting, like, I don't understand it. I mean, haven't I proven enough sitting here day in and day out, going live than anyone you possibly know, going live more than anybody you possibly know, that I'm at least informed enough to understand what you're trying to say to me in that? All right. For those of you that think you know everything, let me ask you a question. And if you've already been through this on the show, do not say a word. For those of you that think you know everything, where did JD5 go to school? What was JD5's most recent school that he graduated from to enter the NFL? Not ASU. What was his most recent school that he graduated from? If you know the answer to this, and you're 100%, don't say anything. If you think you know and you're some smart, wise guy, go ahead and try, because you're going to be wrong. You don't even know where JD5 went to school, do you? Let's see. Let's see who knows. All right, so far we got a lot of astute people in here. It's not LSU.
JD5 is him, and now all can see. He graduated from Himothy University. Unleash the Washington Kraken. JD5 to
to Saturn and beyond.
J85 to Saturn and beyond. Guy's gonna be a force tomorrow. All right, I'm out of here. Appreciate every single one of you. We'll be here about an hour and a half, probably an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and a half before kickoff. I'll see you all tomorrow. Appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for all the super chats. You guys absolutely rock. Start to Addison, Grendo, Ridley, Downs, Smith. I'd probably, call me crazy, but I'm going to go Addison and Downs, bro. Chubbs, I go Addison and Downs. Cage, you said you didn't think I got to this one. I think I did. Start to Achane and if I didn't, I apologize. But I'm gonna go Achane and probably Garrett Wilson for safety. Achane and Spears for high upside, big swing with a little bit more risk and understanding that risk. You know, Achane and Garrett Wilson for safety. Achane and Spears for a high risk, high reward. You need a big swing. But safety, I'd probably go with the Garrett Wilson situation. I guess it's close, man. Chat, vote Spears or Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson or Spears. Can I get at least 10 votes on that one? Garrett Wilson, Spears, Garrett Wilson. Please vote. Which one of you dropping into your lineup? Thank you, bro. All right, I'm hitting the M button here. Flacco, Young, or Aiden O'Connell. Flacco. Deuces.